So it's been done before, the top front-wheel drive car shootout. The Renault Megane R26 versus Honda Civic FD2 Type R JDM version. We've read about it in magazines and seen the photos, but we're doing a bit differently, bringing them to you head-to-head on video. So first up, let's find out more about the Civic Type R. The Honda Civic FD2 Type R that we get in Malaysia is the Japan-only model, the 4-door version that only comes in Honda Championship Whites. And we're the only country outside Japan to have that honor, as it's available nowhere else in the world. And what a car! A highly tuned 2 liters with Honda's famed VTEC, it pushes about 225 horsepower and 250 Newton meters of torque. Its chassis has been stiffened up and lightened, now weighing only 1,270 kilograms. And it features grippy Bridgestone tires, a limited slip diff, retuned suspension, and it has massive Brembo brakes to slow it down when needed. Alright, and having said all that, why don't we go check out what the Megane has.
Yeah, and in the black corner, pumping 230 horsepower and 310 Newton meters of torque and pushing 1345 kilograms is the Renault Megane R26. It's 2 liters like the Civic, but achieves its power through forced induction, turbocharged to the rest of you. It also has grippy Michelin tires and big Brembo brakes. But when you get to the equipment, this is where the 2 cars then differ. The Megane comes with full 5-star Euro NCAP safety features such as airbags all over the place, child seat anchorage points, cruise control, ABS, EBD, ESP, ASR and CSV, a super duper hot hatch with a sliced bread, kitchen sink and a microwave oven. Whew, that was a mouthful.
So it's all good waxing lyrical about their specifications, but let's get down to the dirty stuff. What are they like to drive? And there's only one way to find out.
So here we are in the driver's seat of the Renault Megane R26. Initially it feels soft, laggy, but once you get on boost, it just goes and goes and goes. On turn-in, you can feel like the car's fighting for grip initially, but as the LSD kicks in, the car pulls you out of the corner and the high torque as compared to the other car pulls you out, and the Megane rewards that. Pliant, that's the word. It's firm yet pliant enough to control the bumps. So it's a matter of exploiting what's on the car and not crossing the limits. But strangely enough, if you do it well, you rarely cross the limits. A novice may end up scrabbling, but it's easier to drive than initially thought.
Can't measure up too much. Nothing's ever enough anyway.
This is it, the Civic Type R! Facelift version. Apparently the only difference is the lights. Can you hear that engine? It is incredible. Oh, it's so strong. And there's just so much grip. Faisal's in the R26 and I can see he's having some trouble keeping up. I'm not even in the VTEC zone. There we go. The lights flash up when you get into the VTEC mode. The straights is where Faisal probably end up catching me. Acceleration, they're very, very close, quite comparable. Megane seems to be more light-footed in the rear. Out of the corners, its turbo really pulls away, but once you get into the turns, oh, the Type R just sticks right up to love both cars. When you put them together, there's really nothing in between it. It's probably gonna be more about the day-to-day that's gonna set them apart. Which car is more comfortable to drive? Which car is the one that you can take to work? The one that you can bring your kids to school in, do the shopping? I know the Civic is a sedan, but man, the damping on the rear is not something I want to get my kids used to or subject them to. Can you imagine having them in the rear and then going over a bump and then drinking a cup of Milo? It's just gonna spill everywhere. The Civic Type R though has got to be the greatest trick ever for men. I mean, I can go home and tell my wife, hey baby, I'm gonna buy a new car. And she's gonna be angry with me. She's gonna think, oh no, here he goes, another one of these sports saloons. And no, it's a Honda Civic, it's got 4 doors, it's got a boot. Very practical. I can pick the kids up, send them all home. She goes, oh, she's gonna agree to that. But little does she know, this is probably the car that I'll take. Just sticking it right up there. So the Civic comes across as a very different sort of vehicle to the Renault Megane R26. However, there is something that, well, it's been said before, people always talk about it, and that is the ride. Here we go. So, a lot of people always ask me, what do we mean when we say the Civic Type R has terrible ride on the streets and is bumpy? Well, here you go. This is video evidence. It's incredible. So after it's all said and done, the Civic and the Renault Megane R26, as we've said, both achieve similar times, similar performance, similar excitement, but in very, very different methods. Well, think of it this way. Everyone likes to have dessert. Some people prefer cake with chocolate icing on top, and some people just prefer the apple pie. It really is a very personal preference. There will always be those that will want to buy the Civic Type R. At the end of the day, the greatest magic that Honda have pulled out of the hat is the brand strength of the Type R. They were so confident, and they knew that they could get away with such a harsh ride, such a narrow-minded, such a highly specified vehicle, and it would sell like hotcakes, and they have. And that's how strong, that's how powerful the Honda Type R brand is. And the Renault is an incredible achievement when you come to think about it. Full of airbags, all bells and whistles, and it still can keep up with the very focused, very tight, very hardcore Honda Civic Type R. Both excellent, excellent vehicles, and the choice, again, is down to you. Okay, so we're done. Now it's back to doing nothing. See ya.